Welcome to the Tim Booker channel, where wisdom is worth sharing. Wishing you a pleasant listening experience. Today, I will interpret for you, Going Infinite, the latest work by best-selling author Michael Lewis. Sam Bankman-Fried, commonly known as SBF in the media, made a name for himself at the Wall Street alternative investment bank Jane Street Capital by trading on the data from the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The entire plan was executed by the then 24-year-old SBF. He observed that as the election neared, whenever there was good news for Hillary, the stock markets in the U.S. and some emerging markets would rise, and conversely, when Trump's prospects improved, the markets would fall. This created arbitrage opportunities, as most institutions and individuals relied on 24-hour cable news networks like CNN to understand election changes. If a platform could be built to track election performance in real time, surpassing the market in predicting election results, Jane Street Capital could profit from an informational advantage. SBF embarked on building a platform to monitor the national election trends, allowing the company to predict Trump's chances of winning by over 60% faster than CNN on election night. Before going to bed in New York, SBF bet against U.S. stocks and other major emerging market stocks because Trump's election would naturally be unfavorable for the stock market. Everything seemed to go smoothly, but to everyone's surprise, the U.S. markets not only digested Trump's victory but surged. Jane Street Capital suffered a loss of $300 million, the largest in the company's history. Jane Street Capital didn't blame or criticize SBF for this, as the investment strategy was clear, the process was well-defined, and the execution was precise. Jane Street Capital's logic was that if everything was done correctly, there was no need to hold someone responsible for a massive $300 million loss since everyone was operating in an environment with incomplete information. A year later, SBF established the cryptocurrency hedge fund Alameda Research and struck gold in arbitraging Bitcoin prices across different markets. He later founded the FTX cryptocurrency exchange, briefly becoming the world's second-largest crypto exchange. By 2021, Forbes named him the world's wealthiest individual under 30, with an estimated net worth of $22.5 billion, dubbing him the crypto prodigy. However, 1 year later in November, FTX faced a financial crisis and went bankrupt, and a month later, SBF was charged with misappropriating over $6 billion of customer funds, landing him in jail. The case went to trial in New York in early October and became one of the most sensational white-collar crime cases in the United States. If found guilty, he could face a sentence of over 100 years. Global media is captivated by SBF not only because he is a self-made prodigy but also because he is an advocate of effective altruism, EA participants aim to earn to give, and then donate a significant portion of their wealth to projects that are most beneficial in improving future social welfare. SBF has pledged to donate a large portion of his wealth, earning the admiration of many. However, in reality, SBF has not hesitated to spend money, under the EA banner, on political contributions, believing that he is implementing effective altruism to influence public policy. In practice, it appears more like blatant political influence, and it's done quite openly. For example, SBF strongly dislikes Trump and, fearing his potential return in the 2024 U.S. presidential election, he has engaged with moderate Republicans, including Senate Minority Leader McConnell, by offering billions of dollars in support for candidates opposing Trump. Furthermore, SBF has even had discussions with the Trump team, inquiring about the cost of persuading Trump not to run for president again. This behavior is both naive and likely to violate laws and regulations. Reportedly, the price quoted by the other party was $5 billion. On October 3, SBF appeared in court, and at the same time, renowned biographer Michael Lewis released his new work, Going Infinite. Lewis decided to write this biography of the crypto prodigy in early 2022 and spent 6 months observing SBF's work and life, right up to the FTX bankruptcy. This biography provides a Lewis-style interpretation of SBF and the FTX bankruptcy case, offering a deeper understanding of the U.S. entrepreneurial ecosystem. The 3 most profound influences on SBF can be said to be gaming, his experiences as a Wall Street alternative exchange trader, and effective altruism, During his teenage years, SBF had a passion for gaming, especially strategy games like Magic, where rules were constantly changing. In this strategy game, players could buy equipment, but success didn't solely depend on wealth, as the rules were always evolving, and purchased equipment might become obsolete. Players needed to adapt to constant changes in an uncertain environment, rather than simply accumulating experience and equipment. Gaming almost became a consistent part of SBF's life. One amusing scene in Lewis's book is when SBF had a video call with Anna Wintour, the Prada-wearing witch, Vogue's editor-in-chief, while playing a game. Gaming was his favorite way to unwind, especially when he had to feign interest in topics that didn't captivate him. Gaming had a profound impact on him. Life is like a game, and a game is like life, might be his worldview. Interestingly, Elon Musk is also a gaming enthusiast, and one could argue that games shape their extraordinary risk tolerance. In games, players might be willing to gamble their last copper because there's always the option to start over. This is a choice that most people don't have in real-world markets. However, if one confuses the virtual world with the real world, they might face astounding risks and dire consequences. The difference between Musk and SBF lies in the fact that Musk, whether in building electric cars or launching rockets, operates in the real world. The adventure tolerance gained from gaming enables him to take bold risks. Of course, luck has often been on his side. In SBF's crypto world, it's an entirely different story. It's like a real-life game world, filled with a penchant for gambling. In the summer of 2022, during the cryptocurrency price crash, the game-as-life philosophy might have caused SBF to not grasp the importance of cutting losses in a timely manner. Nevertheless, his high-risk tolerance allowed him to face losses amounting to billions of dollars with composure, as he believed he could find a way to turn the tables, even if it meant misappropriating customer funds. SBF's experiences as a trader at the alternative investment bank Jane Street Capital deeply molded him. He interned at Jane Street Capital during his sophomore year and quickly received a job offer. Jane Street Capital actively cultivated a gambling culture, encouraging interns and traders to make bets among themselves. Almost anything could be wagered on, such as which intern would stay, or whether someone really had a relative playing in American Major League Baseball. The only rule was that the daily loss limit was $100. The encouragement of gambling wasn't about nurturing a gambling habit, although it inevitably enhanced their inclination for risk-taking, especially when there were clear arbitrage opportunities. The goal was to foster analytical thinking, encourage individuals to approach problems from different angles, transform qualitative issues into quantitative ones, and make calculated judgments based on a probabilistic perspective, followed by bold actions. Both Jane Street Capital, as an alternative investment bank, and Bitcoin, are new entities that emerged in the financial market after the 2008 financial crisis. After the financial crisis, traditional investment banks found themselves constrained by increased regulations. This gave rise to grassroots hedge funds and investment firms, who adopted increasingly different investment strategies. They favored quantitative trading, automated trading, machine-to-machine trading, and high-frequency trading, all of which aimed to identify arbitrage opportunities in the market. These alternative trading practices often resembled high-stakes, zero-sum games, testing traders' mastery of asymmetric information, their understanding of the psychology of their counterparts, and their ability to identify hidden opportunities in the market through extensive data analysis. SBF proved to be exceptionally skilled at gambling in a world with incomplete information, and it could be said that he was addicted to it. To him, the financial markets of quantitative trading were like a game, one with ever-changing rules and incomplete information, much like the games he enjoyed playing. Everything was calculated and cold-blooded, where everyone needed to adapt to continuously shifting rules. This attitude also cultivated his disregard for rules. If he were the game's master, he'd try to change the game's rules. As FTX's influence in the crypto world continued to grow, that's exactly what he did. In his eyes, the rules and laws didn't hold a candle to the law of the jungle in the game. What mattered was how things played out in reality, not what was written on paper. EA's impact on SBF has taught him to evaluate the probability of winning and maximize the expected returns for any endeavor he pursues. EA emphasizes making big money quickly and encourages followers to become wealth generators, because having more money to donate can bring more societal well-being. At Jane Street Capital, SBF started with a salary of $300,000 in his first year, which increased to $600,000 in the second year and exceeded $1 million in the third year. If he continued on this trajectory, he could become a partner and earn $10 million annually within a few years. According to the EA model, he was already on the path to becoming a wealth generator. However, when SBF witnessed the Bitcoin craze in 2017, he recalculated the expected earnings in his career. On one side, there was a relatively stable path that could earn him tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars over a lifetime. On the other side, there was the possibility of exponential wealth. SBF chose to take the risk. EA encourages its followers to earn money zealously, especially by making arbitrage profits, but it doesn't dictate how or what they should do to make money. One reason SBF eventually engaged in unrestrained gambling in the cryptocurrency market, with making money as the goal, was precisely because of this. Despite SBF portraying himself as a white knight in the crypto world after gaining fame, emphasizing compliance and pushing for more cryptocurrency trading to happen in the United States, he still fundamentally differs from true Bitcoin believers. Cryptocurrencies are merely a means for him to rapidly accumulate wealth. SBF and the group of entrepreneurs he gathered around him are classic examples of nerd entrepreneurship. Most of them are mathematical geniuses, young, graduates of prestigious schools, exceptionally intelligent, and skilled at extracting opportunities from data. Many of them are also followers of EA and have undergone the training at Jane Street Capital. The combination of these three elements suited them perfectly to navigate the gambling game in the crypto world. The crypto world is a realm with ever-changing rules, or perhaps a world with no rules at all. It's an opaque world where information is scarce, and it's rife with arbitrage opportunities as well as pitfalls. This world can easily turn into a digital game of financial investment/speculation, making it conducive to EA's goal of making money quickly. SBF's biggest shortcoming is his lack of understanding of the essence of finance and a deficiency in judgment regarding the cutthroat nature of the real business world. He also failed to recognize that the crypto world is a realm for outsiders, a world filled with global entrepreneurs. When he plunged headfirst into the jungle of the crypto world with the perception of financial game theory, it was only a matter of time before he would meet with severe setbacks in the real world, despite his exuberant wealth obtained easily, as he unabashedly sought to change the world. Ponzi economics and casino capitalism. What is the true state of the crypto world? Critics describe it using two terms: Ponzi economics and casino capitalism. While somewhat biased, these terms indeed highlight issues in the world of cryptocurrencies. Most people are familiar with Ponzi schemes, where the operator attracts users with high returns and uses the money from new users to pay the interest to earlier participants, continuing until the scheme collapses. However, Ponzi schemes in the crypto world differ. As long as cryptocurrency prices keep rising, more people enter to make quick money, and there may not be a single operator, with Bitcoin being the prime example. Nonetheless, it's different for the remaining hundreds of cryptocurrencies, where usually there is a mastermind who artificially inflates the value using various manipulative tactics. In this sense, casino capitalism aptly describes cryptocurrency exchanges. However, crypto exchanges are more pure. They lack the entertainment and diversions of a casino like Las Vegas but focus solely on making quick money. Describing the chaotic world of cryptocurrencies with casino capitalism has three similarities, which explain why exchanges like FTX pose challenges. First, casinos don't bring about any substantial innovation or create new productivity, but competition within casinos is intense. Casinos are zero-sum games, where one's winnings come at the expense of the losers, and only the house consistently profits. Second, casinos require a house, and the house doesn't engage in gambling but profits from each transaction. This is why exchanges like FTX, which resemble casinos, are highly profitable. In 2021, FTX made more than $1 billion. Third, casinos straddle both the legal and illegal worlds, involving a range of underground transactions, including money laundering. Moreover, to control the profits of a casino, there may be involvement from hidden criminal organizations. In this respect, the crypto world also bears some resemblance to casinos, as it continues to grapple with issues such as evading regulation, underground transactions, and money laundering. The feuds between FTX and the top crypto exchange, Binance, and the role played by Binance's founder during FTX's downfall, indeed leave much to ponder. So why doesn't SBF act as a stable house to make a steady profit? Because the cryptocurrency gambling scene is still in its infancy, and FTX, which was founded only 2 or 3 years ago, is a relatively new product. The rules are lacking, and making money too rapidly can lead to a host of problems. For example, FTX issued its own coin, FTT, and is the largest holder of FTT. It is highly likely that they acted as their own house to boost the value of FTT and harvest the investments of ordinary investors. This type of house operation goes beyond the normal scope of a casino. FTX's research in 2021 on the cryptocurrency market revealed that in smaller exchanges, approximately 80% of the trades were manipulated transactions between different accounts controlled by the house. In larger exchanges, this ratio was roughly around 30%, shedding light on the situation. The concept of black and white coexisting in a casino also parallels the role of outsiders in the crypto world. If printing money and running a casino are such lucrative businesses, and there's a lack of regulation with no one issuing licenses, the competition between exchanges becomes a life-or-death struggle. Particularly when FTX aimed to become the world's largest exchange, its rivals would undoubtedly attack its vulnerabilities. SBF still appears too naive about the unwritten rules of the crypto world. Just a few months before the collapse, during negotiations with Dubai regulatory authorities about relocating FTX's headquarters to Dubai, he presented a condition, asking for their biggest competitor, Binance, to leave Dubai, leaving no room for others. But when he encountered his own problems and was backstabbed by Binance, he had no recourse and ignored the unwritten rules of the industry. Although crypto exchanges closely resemble casinos, Lewis still harbors some sympathy for SBF because he shows the intent to transform his exchange into a better and more compliant platform. His vision involves gradually integrating cryptocurrency trading into the mainstream and bringing about changes in traditional finance through decentralized financial innovations. However, SBF's blind spots lie in not realizing that this market is far from ready for integration and that having a messier exchange than his own isn't necessarily a bad thing. This strategic misfocus has two major reasons. First, SBF lacks guidance from adults and the self-reflection and cognition to learn from the real world. The second is rapid wealth accumulation, suddenly receiving billions of dollars, leading to disregard for rules and a sense of self-righteousness. Money indeed has a corrosive effect, especially when it accumulates so quickly. SBF has certainly set records in terms of lavish spending. His spending in the years 2021 to 2022 is astounding: $4 billion in venture capital, $1.5 billion in acquisitions. In addition, in 2022, he spent $2.5 billion buying back FTX shares from Binance. Prior to that, FTX spent $250 million on real estate, primarily constructing the global headquarters in the Bahamas. What's even more astonishing is that FTX, which was established just 3 years ago, reported $1.5 billion in expenses, with $1 billion of it attributed to SBF's recklessness. This extravagant spending amounts to nearly $10 billion, even when considering the profits of the exchange over 2 years. Net capital expenditure exceeds $6.5 billion. The FTX bankruptcy case accuses SBF of embezzling approximately $6.5 billion in customer funds. In other words, if these extravagant expenses are accurate, SBF has indeed spent too much of other people's money. Going infinite, like Isaacson's, Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the quest for a fantastic future, is regarded as a representation of immersive reporting. Both authors are experts in writing non-fiction books of this kind. Reading both books can help readers understand the soil that fosters innovation and bubbles, distinguishing what truly influential innovation is from the speculative frenzy that triggers FOMO, fear of missing out, emotions and exploits the public. However, compared to Isaacson, Lewis's book is more controversial because if SBF is convicted, he is essentially writing a biography for a criminal. Upon closer analysis, the book has 3 remarkable aspects and 1 point of regret. Firstly, Lewis adeptly captures the characteristics that shape the environment for SBF. The prevalence of alternative trading and quantitative trading after the 2008 financial crisis, unconventional investment banks like jump trading selecting young mathematical talents, nurturing them to operate the financial markets like a ruthless casino, and using quantitative analysis to discover arbitrage opportunities all laid the foundation for SBF's emergence. It cultivated a group of individuals with unique personalities who enjoyed gambling in the uncertain world and developed a penchant for risk-taking in the zero-sum game of Wall Street. Secondly, his portrayal of SBF's character is on point. He doesn't question SBF's dedication to effective altruism. Unlike other Silicon Valley magnates who dominated the 2010s, such as Uber's founder Kalanick or WeWork's founder Newman, SBF has no vices or scandals. He comes across more like an immature college student who suddenly finds himself with immense wealth and significant responsibilities. However, his naivety, lack of understanding of the world, his cold and calculating nature, and his theatrical approach to life will eventually lead to a shipwreck in the treacherous waters of the cryptocurrency world. Thirdly, SBF is remarkably skilled at manipulating media narratives. From his peculiar appearance in front of the public, t-shirts, shorts, flip-flops, to his openness to dealing with the media after tasting its benefits, it's clear that he is not an inexperienced bookworm. On the contrary, he displays shrewdness, and one could even argue that intelligence has led to his own downfall. Unfortunately, Lewis is one of the media influencers that SBF has been actively cultivating, and Lewis himself makes no attempt to hide his admiration for the Golden Boy. Lewis's previous books, such as The Big Short and Moneyball, featured protagonists who saw data and phenomena that others overlooked, leading to astonishing success. These individuals share similarities with SBF. They are skilled at finding information asymmetry, making decisions based on probabilistic judgment, embracing uncertain environments, and being willing to place large bets. This characterization can also be applied to Lewis himself. In 2022, he chose SBF as the subject of his biography at the peak of his fame, intending to write a biography of a modern financial magnate who was often referred to as the J.P. Morgan of the cryptocurrency world. However, history played a cruel trick on Lewis, as he hadn't even begun writing the biography when FTX collapsed. He had the option to abandon the project. Why write a biography for someone who is likely to be convicted of financial crimes, potentially comparable to the junk bond king Michael Milken? Or he could have used his insider information from SBF to argue his case for his innocence. But Lewis chose neither option and instead aimed to present an alternative perspective on SBF to the jury by getting as close to his complex subject as possible. Ultimately, Lewis placed his reputation on the line in the fog of information, with higher risks and potential greater rewards. That concludes the essence of this book. Congratulations, you've just completed another book. Thank you for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker channel. Give it a thumbs up and share it with your family and friends. Wisdom is worth spreading, opening the door to a brighter future. Thank you, and goodbye.